Hello everybody, and happy New Year's, happy 2019 to you all. Um, the 2018 NFL season is in the books. So now we got the playoffs coming here this weekend. We are on the eve of the NFL wild card round on the playoffs. Um, I had some things on my mind this week. So first, before I get to the playoffs, I'm gonna talk about some stuff that was on my mind this week. I'm gonna give my 2 cents on that, and then I'm gonna go on into the playoffs. Okay, first of all, last week I was 11-5 with my picks. If you can remember, I didn't pick the Cowboys because I know Giants was gonna play their starters and I didn't feel like we was gonna play our starters. So I was looking at Eli Manning against Cooper Rush and a Giants team that's playing hard, playing for pride. Um, but I liked it. I mean, I didn't see the game, but when I was following it, on my phone and everything, and I'm like, oh, second quarter, Dak in the game. The third quarter, Dak in the game, and then you kept seeing the score change and stuff like that. And I was like, wow, they going for it. They plan to win, and that's what you do. That's what you need to do. I'm happy that um the starters played the whole game. Suafilo, he's looking kind of doubtful for the game. The left guard, he was the only one that got injured. Um, but I'm happy because 10-6 and all the division winners this season have double-digit wins. So 10-6 look a lot better than 9-7. And you play to win. And the Cowboys has been hmm, too inconsistently, too inconsistent, especially on offense this season. They've been too inconsistent on offense to really have that mentality to sit and rest players. So I didn't expect the starters to play, but I'm glad they did play. And I didn't see the game, like I said, but the highlight packet that I seen, it got me, it got me feeling some kind of way. I'll get to that soon. I mean, our opponent this weekend, they played their starters the whole game. Um, it was a risk if you lost, you wouldn't go into the playoff with momentum, but they pulled it out. Seattle, our opponent, they had a tough game too against a divisional opponent. They had a bad season, and they won on the last second field goal. We won on um, holding them on defense after a 2 point conversion to take the lead. So that was a good game. They needed that. So, like I said, we're not at the level to rest the rest players. Been too this defense been solid all year, but even them over the last um, 3 games, I think the defense was giving up less than 20 points, but the last 3 games of the season, they've been giving up like 25 points a game. So and Giants did score 'em, but um, I'll talk about the offense and the defense and what they need to do to lock back in for the playoffs. But it was a good game. It seemed like it was a good game. Um, so I was 11-5. I didn't do a total like my total wins and my total losses of the season. Um, but anyway, I'm moving on. So something that been on my mind. All right, a owner is an owner. They have the right to hire and fire, you know, whoever they want, whenever they want. So I was just looking at some of the firings that was going on. And NFL is and it's unfortunate, but it's a win now league. I mean, you don't get a chance, really. So the owners and the GMs, they are less likely to turn things over. They are willing to turn things and blow things, the system up in one case a year. So you got this coach Steve Wilkes. I mean, he got fired after one season. And the thing that kind of get under my skin a little bit with that firing is you bring him in last off season, say he's your guy, then after one season he's gone. And then in all cases, the owner and that GM in all these cases, they come to the table and they saying how much they like the coach, whoever the coach was. He was a good man, and this and that. But you fired him. So my thing with that, in most cases, you only get this guy one season. But that GM sit there and he's safe. He brought Sam Bradford in. You could have. I think the GM in that case should have been fired too, but that's not going to happen. GMs most times get to go through two, three, or more coaches before their day come, but the coaches is gone just like that. So on in that situation, I mean John Elway ain't gonna fire himself, and they're not gonna fire him, a legend of the game, whatever. But anyway, that GM should have been gone. You brought Sam Bradford in, and that move didn't work. Look how many pieces you probably could have added to help the offense and defense out if you wasn't fooling around with Sam Bradford. So that was just something bothering me how how coaches in general, and I may be feeling some kind of way because of the eight vacancies. Um, Five of them African American, but it's not about race because Hugh Jackson, he wasn't winning, and he could have stayed to at least the end of the season, but he didn't have the guts to fire his offensive coordinator at that time and let that feud between them two trickle down to the locker room. So I'm not saying that none of them shouldn't have been fired, but I just got a problem whether it's a white coach or a black coach that you are firing these guys after one season, two seasons. I think in I think their tenure should be 3 years with an option for 4 years. You shouldn't be able to fire no coach. But that's the private sector, so they can do what they want to do. But you shouldn't be able to create that much turnaround in your own. You shouldn't be creating that much turnaround in your own organization after one season. So 4 years, three with opportunity for 4 years. In that third year, if things ain't trending in the right direction, then that probably should be it. If it's trending in the right direction after 3 years, go with that fourth season, see what happens. And the thing about Vance Joseph, he All right, they were sitting at 6-6, but in that game that they won, I think they lost Chris Harris, all pro corner. Then in that week in practice, Emmanuel Sanders got hurt. Both of them key players on offense and defense gone for the season. So some they could have looked at that and gave this guy another chance. And you, the GM, Elway, you traded Demarius Thomas away. That would have helped your offense a lot. If he was still on the roster, you traded him away, and then you traded Demarius Thomas away. Then Emmanuel Sanders got hurt. So then you come out there saying, "Hey, good man," and this, and we all need to, I'm paraphrasing what John Elway saying. We all need to be accountable. We all need to look in the mirror. Okay. So what I'm saying, GMs, most times they are responsible for bringing the players and the personnel in, and it's the coaching staff job, I know, to work with them. But if you bringing people in like Sam Bradford, you ought to get fired. But anyway, that's one thing that was bothering me about these coaches, how the GM just get to go through two, three, four, five coaches before their day come. And another thing, two good coaches, and me personally not advocating for nobody to be fired, but I'm gonna use the word hot seat. In my opinion, Ron Rivera and Mike Tomlin, their seat should be a little hot. Their seat should be hot, and here's why. I said this before. Carolina Panthers had a winning record when they was aware that Cam Newton was having problems. So instead of you phasing this backup in, letting him get first team reps and shut this guy down, who is your franchise, you just go out here and lose six, seven straight games. You out of the playoff race, then you shut him down. You let all your team, you let them players down. You let the team down. You let the organization down when you make a move like that. So of course he's not gonna get fired. He shouldn't get fired. I don't want him to get fired. But that was a poor coaching job. Poor, very poor by Ron Rivera. Very poor. I had talked about Pittsburgh this season too. Tomlin's seat should be hot, very hot. I said in the past that players, when a player's dealing with a labor issue, and basically that's what it was, he wanted a contract. He didn't want a franchise tag. He wanted a contract. When a player, or somebody in general, a player in this situation is dealing with a labor issue, folks should watch how that play out and be more supportive because something can develop out of that that will help other players down the line. That was a labor issue. And I said it before, I never seen nothing like that. How his offensive lineman was dissing this man and he got a labor issue. He want a contract. That's a labor issue. And how these people, the offensive lineman and the team turned on him for that, that was pathetic. I was sorry. And I feel, and then I didn't notice till I caught it on the network the other morning when they was talking about the Steelers. I didn't know that after he decided that he wasn't going to come in and play, that little spectacle that they made outside his locker, messing with his shoes and stuff like that. Oh man, that made me sick in my stomach. That was appalling to me. That was appalling. I said on my very first show how I didn't have the Cowboys spirit going into the season because of some things that I feel like their ownership was doing. And I spoke about karma, football karma, and just karma all together. The way y'all disrespected that man at his locker when he was going through a label dispute, that's karma. That's karma. I'm glad they didn't make the playoff. That's one reason the coach should be in the hot seat because he couldn't pull them offensive linemen and the whole team together and say, he's not here. He want a new contract. He's not here. And I would appreciate if y'all don't speak out against that or towards him. That was the coach's role. Don't speak out against him. Don't speak out towards him. We're going to work with what we got here. Don't speak out against him or towards his situation. The coach should have squashed that, but he didn't. And then, even though it's the off season, you got this guy, AB, the hands down one of the best receiver or one of the 1, 2 best receivers for several years, at least since 2013. The best receiver in the league acting out this way. That's not a label issue. So I don't care if it's the off season. When the story came out about him, knee injury, coach told him go get an MRI. He didn't get an MRI, didn't come up to practice. Agent dealing with the coach. He did all that during the week. Then come to Sunday. The agent said he can play. Coach said we don't do business like that. That's not a labor issue. So even though it's all season, I want to hear them all same offensive linemen that was disrespecting this man and his labor issue. I want to see these same Pouncey and all these guys speak out against AB. Left y'all ass in the dirt. Didn't even play. So I don't see no. I want to see and feel the anger over that situation. I want to see hear about some tweets and see some tweets bashing him. That wasn't no labor issue. I don't know. I, I'm paraphrasing. I read this story. It was either a current coordinator or a former coordinator. Some months ago, said that basically he was saying AB is benefiting from Ben Roethlisberger. Basically, that's what he was saying. And then AB responded, said, "Well, get rid of me or trade me or something." And I think ever since then, his confidence been shot. And you know how wide receivers, some wide receivers, they divas anyway. He was insecure after that point. I don't have a direct quote, but I know I read it. I don't even think it's a current coordinator. I think it's a former coordinator or somebody used to be with the team on the coaching staff. They made some reference about AB is benefiting. He wouldn't be nothing, something to that fact without Ben Roethlisberger. And he said, trade me then. He talking to somebody that made an opinion about him that ain't even with the organization no more. And ever since then, we've been having these issues out of um, Adrian Peters. I'm not Adrian Peters, Antonio Brown. So I think that comment made him insecure. He haven't been the same ever since. So that was ugly. And there's one more team, the Vikings. What I always say about the Kirk Cousins when he's with the Redskins. If Cowboys took the lead and Redskin had to go on a drive to get the winning touchdown, get the winning field goal, I'm feeling victory. I'm feeling victory. Kirk Cousins do not scare me. He do not scare me. So 86 million guaranteed. Okay, all right. So those things that was on my mind, bothering me. See, I'm a Cowboy fan, but I'm speaking to other situations because I want to be a well versed sports person, not just specifically Cowboys. But it really is all about Cowboys. So let me do this real quick. Let me go back to then and now. All right, then and now. Before I go into these playoffs, I don't have my notes here, but I remember what I said. I said Green Bay was gonna bring run the North. I was wrong. The Bears won the North. I said the Falcons will win the South. And not only didn't Green Bay win the North, they didn't even make the playoffs. I said the Falcons will win the South. Not only didn't they win the South, they didn't make the playoffs. Saints won the South. I said the Cowboys was gonna win the East. Ding 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 ding. Got that one right. And I said the Rounds was gonna win the West. Okay. Then I said the two wild card teams was gonna be the Saints. They won the South, so I was wrong there. And I said the Vikings. No, they didn't even make the playoffs. It's the Seahawks. And then I said the Falcons was gonna represent the NFC in the Super Bowl. And I was wrong about that. So if I could have a mulligan, if you all give me a mulligan, a do over, who you think I'm gonna pick to go to the Super Bowl? You think I'm gonna jump on board of the Rams or the number one seed, the Saints? No, I have to pick a new team because the team I picked didn't make it. So I have to pick a new team. So I'm going with the Cowboys to represent the NFC in the Super Bowl. All right, let me remember what I said on the AFC side. AFC, I said the Steelers was going to win the North. I'm glad they didn't. Nope, Ravens won the North. I said who I said was going to win. I picked Jacksonville to win the South. I was wrong. I picked the Patriots to win the East. I was right there. And I picked the Chiefs to win the West. I was correct there. And I did pick San Diego and the Ravens to be the wild card teams. Ravens won the North. I mean not San Diego, Los Angeles Chargers. They are the wild card team along with the Colts. And I picked um, the Ravens to represent the AFC in the Super Bowl. So they still alive for that. Okay, so that was those were my day one predictions. So I still got some teams in it. And that was my day one prediction. All right, Cowboys playoff talk. I said I was feeling some kind of way. I didn't watch the whole game. I didn't see the game last week. And I still think I might, if I get a chance today, I still think I'm going to do that league pass and watch the whole game. Because from the highlight package, what I seen was a very good Dak Prescott running around, getting out the way, rolling, making throws on the run. That's what I seen. And I was thinking to myself, is this 2016 again? I'm like, where did this come from? Where did this come from? I mean, the touchdown at the end of the game to Cole Beasley, he was on a run to the opposite side. It's hard to run to the left as a right hand quarterback. He threw that ball, put it there. The deep one to Hearns. The highlight packages, he was just rolling, getting out the way, running. And I'm like, this is what he can this is what he do. This is what he can do. So I'm not gonna say nothing right now. It's gonna be a combination of stuff that I've been saying all season. I'm not gonna break no news here. I'm not gonna say nothing here. I hate it when the offense a coordinator or the coaches are the story. The players should be the story. This guy standing in the pocket all these games when you know he can do that and he should do that. But it's like I hate to use this word. It's like his handlers has told him don't scramble, don't run. You stay right up in that pocket and throw that ball. That's what it seemed like. And then all of a sudden in week 16 he running, scrambling, getting out the way. I mean he took some sacks, but it's weird. They not gonna go to the not the Super Bowl. They're not gonna win no playoff game like that. So a big part of this playoff run depends on what the handlers gonna do with him, and that's crazy. Coaches should not be the story. Coaches should not be the story. If he is allowed to get out the way, roll, throw the ball, they got a much better chance, and we have much more confidence than we have right now. That is mind blowing to me. That right there, how he rolled to the right and threw that ball to Hearns, rolled to the left, threw one to Beasley. The touchdown led to the game winning 2 point conversion. And he had a lot of other throws when he was rolling and moving and getting out the way. This is forever is is gonna baffle Cowboy fans forever. Baffle Cowboy fans that this man can play like this, but his handlers, this the coaching should not be the story. And this is a positive week playoff, and I'm really trying to be positive, but this is an issue. This is an issue. So you got that situation going on with Dak Prescott, his handlers, and what they would or won't let him do is going to decide if they can be productive on offense. Because really, it took to the last game of the season. That was the uh, that was a pretty good performance. That's a pretty good offensive game. Now defense gave up one more point, one less point than they scored. But that was the by far the last game of season was the best performance by the offense, and hopefully that's what they want to do, and that's what they want to be. Plus Zeke back in the lineup on offense going into the playoffs. Let's just say hopefully that's what they're going to be. If I look in the first quarter and that rush is coming and he ain't rolling left, rolling right, getting out the way, I might just turn the TV off. If he's not doing playing the position the way he played the last week, he just standing there, not trying to get out the way. I might just turn the TV off in the first quarter. So this is it. This is the playoffs. Defense been strong and consistent all year. They've been getting up some more points over last year, but that's the regular season is over. What the Cowboys need to do on defense. I'm not saying nothing new because we already played the Panthers and these Seahawks. So I'm not saying nothing new. They have to rush disciplined, disciplined pass rush. Don't go diving off because Russell Wilson don't have no handlers. He gonna roll up out of there. He gonna get on the edge. He gonna throw that ball on a run. He gonna get out there. He don't have no handlers. If I was the Cowboys, I would send five on every play, like a run blitz. Every play, every play. You can't let this team out physical you because they gonna come at the Cowboys like the Colts came at them. Physical. They gonna try to out physical. It's gonna be no holds bar down in them trenches. They gonna come for them. They gonna try to run that ball, and I think they got the best running game in the league. So they gonna be running. So they gonna have to stop the run, and they gonna have to rush discipline. Soon you leave a gap, he's going right into it, right by you, Russell Wilson. Listen, they are about to play a professional sandlot quarterback, professional sandlot offense. As far as the wide receivers and the quarterback, the receivers and the quarterback. professional sound. They got to be incredibly disciplined the whole game and physical, and they should be all right. So that's what had to be done on defense. Physical, maybe even run blitz every down. Physical, disciplined pass rush. And you defensive backs, don't get caught looking at that backfield. Don't get caught looking at D Law, see if he gonna get the sack or it's over. It's over. It's over. You defensive players, you have to stay plastered on these receivers until the whistle blow. Okay. So defensive backs got to stay plastered, stay with the receivers, don't lose them. Physical, run blitz very often, and a disciplined rush. And that's easier said than done dealing with this guy Russell Wilson, and they will be all right. Offense gonna have to be physical. I don't know how much the Suafilo injury might hurt us, but they gonna have to be physical, run the ball, and that and coaches don't be the story. Coordinator don't be the story. Let that man play that position the way he can play that position. Do not have him just back up sitting in that pocket. Take the leash off of him. You getting coaches and coordinators and stuff getting fired for stuff like that. Getting fired. As an owner, I know you up in that box, and you like this image of him. You said previously, I think in after the Panthers lost the first game of the season, and then I think it was another time that you had to mention it. You want to see him run more. Then they play you because they do it, then slowly go away. And then you right back to having to tell them over and over and over again. So when are you gonna get fed up? You know the owner, you know you've been in that press box last week and you see how he run the ball and accurate throwing that ball on the run. And it ain't all about you ain't running, you getting out of the way. You see him in that press box getting out of the way, and then other games you just sit there and just look at this man like he got a knee injury and he can't go nowhere and getting sacked and stuff. And you got to be wondering, and that never happens. This gonna have to happen on offense to be successful. First of all, Seattle is not going to double Cooper most of the time. They are we're gonna do what we do team. So it should be some opportunities over there. Offense, run that ball. Coach, the coach, don't be the story, and I think we'll be good on offense. All right, that's enough. So I'm going to pick these playoff games. So we have the Saturday game. Well, I don't need this. I know the games. The first game is going to be Houston and the Colts. I often picked against I'm Houston Texans in the Indianapolis Colts. This season, if you noticed, I often picked against the Texans, even when they was playing a lesser opponent. And I just don't know why. I don't know why. I mean, they got Merciless, Watt on defense, Clowney, Mathis, and bunch of other names. All right, they got Lamar Miller, running back, home run hitter, um, Hopkins, and of course Deshaun Watson. And they got other solid players, offensive line and defensive line. It's just some reason I'm just not sold on Houston. Even all the big name players they got, I haven't. It's just something about the Texans that I'm not sold on. You remember the next to the last game of the season? I think I picked the Jets to beat them, and Jets made me look good up to about 5 minutes left in the fourth quarter. But they home. I'm gonna go with the Colts. I'm gonna go with the Colts on the road. Saturday night is Texas night, baby. I'm gonna go and pick this game. Like I said, defense, physical on the line, run blitz, much as possible, disciplined pass rush, tackling, good tackling, defensive backs, stay with your man. Defense will be all right. Offense, coaches, coach, coach. Don't be the story. Don't be the story. No, handle take the leash off of that Prescott and don't be the story. And offense will be okay. I'm going. Of course, I'm going with the Cowboys. Those the Saturday games. Sunday, you got the Chargers and the Ravens. That's a rematch. That's a rematch of a few weeks ago. I can do all this talking about this game, but when I went over my picks at the beginning of the season, I told you I picked the Ravens to go to the Super Bowl. I didn't know that they was gonna be this team, but Flacco, they still winning. I thought it was gonna be a Flacco led team, but he done flamed out. But it's still the Ravens. I'm down with Lamar Jackson, so I picked them to go to the Super Bowl. So I'm gonna stay with that pick. So give me the Chargers, LA Chargers to lose. Give me the Baltimore Ravens, and then you got Chicago hosting Philadelphia. Playoff wise, you got Russell Wilson got Super Bowl and he's more battle tested in the playoff than Dak. Okay, but I don't think that experience overall gonna be no issue in that game. You got Luck is more battle tested in the playoffs. He's been to a couple of championship NFC AFC championship games. He's more battle tested than Deshaun Watson. But for that whole game, I don't think experience is going to be an issue. And then in the Ravens game, I mean, you got a rookie at quarterback, but he's fearless. And Rivers, he don't have too much playoff experience in his career to speak of. So overall in this game, um, experience is not an issue. In this game, I'm kind of feeling like experience is going to be could be an issue. It could be an issue. I think the defense is going to play the way they play regardless. But Mitchell Trubisky, I think in this game, experience could be a problem. But I like their home record. I really like Chicago home record. They play better at home. Mitchell Trubisky is better at home. But I want to give it to the Eagles on experience. But I'm gonna go with the home team in this game. It's tough. I wouldn't be surprised if the Eagles won. Matter of fact, all the picks I made, I wouldn't be surprised if the opposite team won. I wouldn't be surprised if Eagles won, but I'm gonna go with the home team. So in the 2019 wild card round, I'm going with the Colts on the road, the Cowboys at home, Ravens at home, and the Bears at home. Go Cowboys, go. Let's go. Let's go. I'll be back next week, hopefully to discuss our victory, our playoff victory. Happy New Year's. And as I always said, I had a few viewers that came by and be watching the videos. I want to say thank you. Thank you for the privilege of your time watching my video.